Hi everyone, I'm Catherine with GraCee Designs, and this is Mornings with GraCee. So today I'm going to show you how to join together granny squares. This is the way I like to do it. I like to crochet them together.
So you have your squares, your crochet hook, and your yarn. And I'm going to show you how to join the squares two different ways. I've left the tail on one side of the square so I could show you how to work that in as well. We are going to go into the back loops. First, we're going to put the right sides together.
Here you see the right side of the square and the wrong side of the square.
And depending on how we put them together, this will change the look of the seam. We're going to start at the corner where there's the chain one stitch. And as long as you keep them lined up, everything should flow really nicely. First, we make our slip knot with our yarn. And then we're going to find that chain one at the corner. Then we'll place our crochet hook into the back stitch of one square and then the back stitch of the other square. Place our yarn on the crochet hook and pull it through the two stitches. And then we're going to chain one to secure it. And this is how we're going to join our squares, just by connecting the two back loops of each stitch. And as long as we keep these stitches lined up, everything should, connect perfectly. We're just joining the two squares with a slip stitch. Go through the two back loops, yarn over, back through the two loops, and then a slip stitch. You don't want to do it too tight. Just kind of let it flow comfortably. Now, the knot can be a little tricky. That's why I left the tail end there. You're still going to go into the back of that square where the stitch is. It's just a little tighter than the others. And then we'll get the tail out of the way. Make sure everything's lined up again. And continue connecting through those back loops. I'm going to continue and speed it up a little bit. And we'll do this until we get to the other corner chain stitch. Now I'm at the end, going through those last two back loops of the chain one, and the two squares are connected. So when working with granny squares, let's say to make a blanket, I like to join the squares the entire width. Let's say it's 6 wide, and then I do another row of 6 wide, and then I'll take those two rows and I'll crochet them together. And then I can just keep adding the rows, which makes it a lot easier because you have like one straight row going across. I've crocheted these two sets to show you how to go across in the row. Put right sides together. We'll start at that corner chain, and we'll do the same thing that we did before. And again, for this method, we're going to crochet in the back loops. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. As you can see, I still have not hidden the tails. Sometimes I like to wait till I have a whole stack of squares. Sometimes I put them together. Depends what kind of mood I'm in to get that done. And when we get to the center of the 4 squares, we're going right into that chain one stitch on each square. I will finish joining these two squares together, and you'll see how it looks. I hope you're enjoying this video. If you'd like to see other crocheting videos, please subscribe to my channel. I also have sewing and knitting and embroidery. Maybe you'd like to learn something new today. Check it out, please. As you see, even though we crocheted the squares together, it looks like they were sewn together. Gives it sort of a seam look. Now we're going to crochet the squares with the right sides together. We're going to work it the same way. We're going to start in that corner, that chain 1 stitch. We're going to go in the back loops. We will just have a different look when finished. Always make sure that the stitches are lined up. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. These are 2 ways you can join your granny squares by crocheting them together. One is more of a sewn look, and one is more of a finished raised border look. They're both pretty much done the same way. It's just a matter of how you put your squares together. One way is right sides together, one way is wrong sides together. And we will finish up second way to join your squares together. Out of the 2 ways, I like that it has the raised border, gives it a more cleaner look. We're going to work these squares the same way we did before, just crocheting in the back loops. I'll show you how we cross over in the middle of the 2 squares, finish up, and then we will be done with our 2 ways on how to join granny squares. I want to speed it up a little bit. As you can see, just keep lining up those stitches, and everything is right there for us to join together. I'll finish up this set of squares. So there you have it. I've showed you 2 ways on how to crochet your granny squares together. I think they're quite simple. And here's one more look at the seams for each method of crocheting the squares together.
So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share GraCee Designs. And join me next time on Mornings with GraCee.